Alright, this is interesting. It's my first time going live on YouTube. Welcome you guys. Welcome. My name is Blair and I decided to jump on here. I'm starting to transition out of TikTok quite honestly and going more into more traditional long form content. So if being able to bring my audience over here would be ideal, quite honestly. But hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wait for a couple people to jump into the live, just to see what we can come up with and correlate. But I'm gonna do a 3-card spread, to just gauge the energies that are currently going on and to assess where everyone is in their current life timeline. Lot of swift communication coming in for a lot of you guys. Whether it's you going into these conversations, it's whether you going into these conversations or there's conversations that need to be had. But either way, they're going to be coming in rather swiftly. I think for some of you guys, you're gonna like articulate, you're gonna move, you're heading towards like a different place, you're moving jobs. This could be even you moving out of different friend groups, transitioning out of kind of a sense of overindulgence. So it could be some of you are entering into kind of more of a self-indulgence era. Some of you are walking out of that. I see Capricorn energy here, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Virgo energy here. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys are like walking into some new energy, which means you're in a space of wanting to let go of a lot of different things. So, if there's conversations that need to be had for you to really kind of like reach a level of equilibrium, you need to have them now. Patience is a great attribute to have when one is gauging, but there needs to be some level of consistency when it comes to your action. Not just kind of like waiting around, but being patient for the opportunity for this communication to transpire. Because I feel like there needs to be a lot of things put to a close when it comes to the way you're acting or the way you're being around persons and individuals. Hey, what's up? Hello from Russia. What's up, my Russians? What's up? You get me? Hello, everyone. Hello, Fedora. Welcome, you guys. I am doing a collective reading, right? So, just off the bat, I feel like a lot of you guys are really kind of heading towards very swift conversations. Conversations that need to be had, conversations that need to be kind of set into motion to really step into this new era that you guys are walking into. I feel like a lot of you guys are in a lot of overindulgence when it comes to things that are not very conducive to your growth, and now you're seeking the asylum to do the introspection needed to let go of a lot of these energies that you've kind of attached or latched yourselves onto. Okay, if you guys are watching right now, feel free to subscribe. I do these every day. So yeah, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize this. Alright, so back to the reading. I see for a lot of you guys there is a lot on your plate that you're needing to kind of start doing the things needed to get some of that overcompensation out of the plate, meaning taking some things off of it. Sometimes you don't want to be that person in a buffet that's literally just taking and filling your plate up with a bunch of stuff. It's a buffet for a reason, meaning that you put enough on your plate that will allow you to, eat, and then if you want more, you can go back and get more. So I feel like for a lot of you guys are like really leaving behind a lot of closed mindsets. I feel like a lot of you guys have really done the work introspectively to kind of figure out what is it you like authentically, what is it that you don't like authentically, and what is it that you like just to stay in the mix. There's a lot of poser energy here, but you get me, like at one point in one's life it snaps in your head that you need to live your best, most authentic life and not cosplay somebody's perception of you. I feel like that's a disservice to your lifetime, quite honestly. And the best way to get to the closest version of yourself is to follow the road of authenticity. following what you authentically like. And some people may not know what that is, you know, but it's you taking the time to really do the introspection to really figure out what the fuck that is, you know. 10 of Wands here, 10 of Swords here, so it's a lot of completion energy, you get me? A lot of completion outside of, you know, thinking or overanalyzing particular situations to try to like make fetch happen when it comes to keeping certain people or scenarios in your life. And I feel like a lot of persons are gotten to the point now where they're understanding what's the extra baggage, what's the baggage that's like really bringing down the progress and the consistency that could be enacted if one would get certain things off their back, off their shoulders. You get me? Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and add put some new cards on here. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, you guys are breaking free. This is the end of an era. You get me? This is the end of an era for a lot of you guys. You know, this moon is currently in Libra, so it's really assessing the things that you represent things that are represented outside of you, and seeing whether or not they represent the things that are within you. And a lot of you guys are breaking free from kind of like this cosplay of living through other people's perceptions of you. Honestly, you don't want to do that to yourself, you guys. Literally, this is a lot of there's a lot of temptations around you guys. But I feel like the universe is putting you guys in this space to kind of like learn self-control, learn to kind of like refine your willpower so that it's cohesive to what it is you're trying to accomplish. You get me? It doesn't make any sense if you have a great workout and then, you know, you go home and there's a beautiful cake and you start eating it. It defeats the purpose. You get what I'm saying? So that's the energy that I'm perceiving for a lot of you guys. It's like there is momentum happening. There is kind of the ability to break free. But just as much as the universe presents its way out, it'll present a way that like is consistent and comfortable. So growth comes from uncomfortability. So sometimes you have to like step outside of your comfort zone and like really step into this new sense of self, because the old sense of you is really feeling the echoes of the new you that's approaching. So it's really trying to grasp onto whatever remnants of yourself it can. But for a lot of you guys, it's just really tapping into more of your authoritative, assertive, boundary holding energy. Emperor energy. The Emperor card is here. The Devil card is here twice, you guys. We have the World card here as well too, twice. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's just really major epiphanies, major kind of spiritual and universal signs that are being shown to you. And whether or not you're going to do the due diligence to follow through is on you. I feel like a lot of you guys have been in some introspection, but what's the sense you do all this thinking and not apply the things that you've learned from this era? So I feel like a lot of you guys are kind of in a space of really vocalizing and articulating these things, these new boundaries that you've come across. Heavy Scorpio energy here, heavy Capricorn energy here, Aries energy is here. I see Virgo here, Capricorn, you know, Aries, the World card which embodies Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio. So I feel like there's a lot of fixed energy here, and things that are fixed typically have particular foundations that are applied onto them. So I feel like your foundations are really transitioning into a new kind of frame of like processing. And the same frame of processing is just like a whole new glossary of new definitions of words that you've applied to in your life up to this point. So it's a real assessment of value. You know, what are you seeing as valuable? I feel like before it was very surface level for a lot of you guys, thinking the sense of if someone were to come up to you and say, hey, do you want $10 or do you want 10 Bitcoin? You know, someone who's surface level would just say they want the $10, whereas someone who's knowledgeable and has a particular bigger scope of like knowledge and data will choose 10 Bitcoin because it's worth a lot more. So I feel like for you guys now, you've acquired a lot more scope when it comes to the things that are around you. So in turn, it's redefining a lot of the things that you had particular definitions attached to it, and now you're kind of transitioning into it, a new kind of definition of a lot of things in your life. A lot of you guys are kind of being this over defensive person, self-sabotaging a lot of connections that you've wanted to build because of echoes of past situations that project onto these new circumstances. You get me? But there comes a point in time where you have to kind of like allow yourself the time to really contemplate and assess what it is that's draining you energetically, so that you can reassign it to something that is going to fill you with vitality, especially in the emotional sphere and space, And when I say rest, it's not about really, and introspection, it's not really about you reminiscing or you replaying particular circumstances in your past. It's really kind of grasping the lessons that have been etched and embedded into your subconscious. And when it's in your subconscious, it's a lot more work to be done when it comes to transmuting it into something that is positive for you. You get me? If you're sitting around and we're just like, hey, what's wrong? And you're like, nothing's wrong with me. What do you mean? It's because you don't even proactively know that you're displaying these attributes. It's like breathing. If I don't tell you, are you breathing? You're not going to realize you're breathing until you're proactively thinking about it. So you do not want these kind of traumatic circumstances or lessons just to be imbued in your subconscious where you're not processing it, and then it becomes something that's just like oozing out of you, where you're looking upset, where you're looking miserable, where you're looking bitter. No, you get me? We want to utilize these circumstances as a means to transmute your best life, a life that's purposeful. It's really leaving behind a lot of your old senses of perceiving things, like changing your definitions on things, changing perspective. But for things to transpire, you guys, patience is a virtue, you get me? Knowing all of this is one thing, but allowing yourself to the time for things to render into context is another. I always say it's like asking the universe to tell you, what do I need to grow this plant? And it gives you a seed. And now you know that it's going to grow within 3 months. You still have to wait within that 3 months. There's still a patience that needs to be acquired to get to the knowing. The context is the time. Well, when you're perceiving the context, it's considered time. But to say the least, it's just kind of like a lot of utilizing this time to really readjust your perspective on definitions of things that have transpired in your life, and changing a sense of victimness into victory. We have the Two of Swords, and then we have the Three of Cups. So it's a lot of decisions that need to be made, indecisiveness in one's actions. But when you guys do make this decision, it's going to bring about some level of celebration. The Three of Cups speaks of celebration. I also see the 10 of Points here on the deck, and then the Temperance card here. So there is a sense of things being transpiring, things that are being brought into equilibrium, but patience is a virtue. So allow that to transpire while you're still working on other aspects of your life. You guys are complicated individuals, so there's so many aspects of your life that you can be working on while other parts are baking and getting ready to be transmuted and experienced. Okay? So I'm gonna wrap up the reading with that. I appreciate you guys joining me. If you guys are watching right now, I really appreciate you guys to subscribe. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of these, but I currently have to head to a workshop that I'm gonna be hosting for this. Literally, my brain is literally frying right now. But literally, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Take care, stay lit, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.